Angela Michelle, and welcome to Love, Life, and Spices. Today we are making Spanish garlic shrimp. I am so excited, and we're going to pair it with saffron rice. So it's going to be an amazing balance. You can either have this as a snack or it can actually be a meal. So today's featured spice is actually saffron. Look at the beautiful red color, right? Can you see that? So it is actually the world's most precious spice. It's the most expensive by weight and is actually the red stamen of the crocus flower, which is why it's so expensive. So we're actually going to make two spice mixes with this today. We are going to make a saffron and onion mix, which is actually coarse. And then we're going to do a smoky saffron mix, which is fine. Okay, so let's get started. So I have a pesto and mortar here. This is what we're going to use to make our first spice mix. So I have pink peppercorns. I'm going to put some right in here because what happens is I want to crush these down into the coarseness that I want for this spice mix. Let's see if I can get this open. So I'm going to put some pink peppercorns right in here. Okay, and that's what they look like, just pink peppercorns. And then I want some coarse sea salt, some very coarse sea salt. So I'm going to put that in here as well. Now notice when your spice mixes, sometimes I make them, I don't put salt in them at all. And other times I do use salt. It just depends on what I'm using the spice mix for. Okay, so it's totally just personal preference. Now I'm going in with some onion flakes. Let me show you these. They look absolutely amazing, right? They're fresh, but they're also dehydrated, so it holds the flavor inside. So let's get some of this in here. We have to shake this vigorously, right, to get enough in here as far as what we want. That looks pretty good. Now, I want to do, this is freeze-dried roasted garlic. Talk about intense flavor. That's what's in this bottle. So I'm going to go ahead and add some of that in here as well. That looks about right. Now, oh, it smells so good. I can actually smell the garlic. It smells amazing. Freeze-dried shallots, believe it or not. So if you know me by now, you know that I haven't met an onion I don't like. I love onions. So I'm doing regular dried white onion, and I'm also doing freeze-dried shallots. Okay? And that's it. That's it for this mix. So I'm going to go ahead and grind these together. Now, if you have a spice mill, you can use that. Even if you had like a coffee grinder, you can use that as well. Okay? So I'm just going to grind this up as much as I can. And again, this is a very coarse grind. So we don't have to keep going for the next 2 hours till it's fine. We want it to remain coarse. Okay? So let's see, maybe just a couple more spins, and then I think we will have it. There it is. You want to see what it looks like? I'm going to pour it right into this bowl so you can take a look. Let's get about of this green thing because that's a little dark, right? I'm going to put it right in here. There. And you come in for a close-up. Doesn't that look lovely? And it smells wonderful. And I love the color on it, right? It's a very beautiful color. If you can see through the glass, you can see how it looks. Now, what I want to do is I want to transfer this from the bowl to here because I can keep this in my pantry for up to 3 months even. So let's see. I have my little trusty funnel here. Just going to get the spice mix off in there and then funnel it down. And there you have it. I have my very first spice mix of the evening. See if I can get the top back on there. There we go. And this is my saffron and onion spice mix. And you can tell what I mean about it being coarse because you can still distinctly see all of the ingredients in this spice mix. Okay, so that's one. Let's go on to number two. Let's clean up our area here a little bit. Now the second one, I don't need the mortar and pestle. Okay, these are actually already pretty fine, so I'm okay with that. I still want to use some saffron, so I'm going to put a little bit of saffron in this one. Okay, this is paprika. This is sweet paprika, so we're going to use a little bit of that. I have some smoky paprika, which smells absolutely amazing. As soon as I lift the lid, like it just fills the air. It smells so good, and it actually smells smoky. Okay, this You should know what this is by now. Crushed red pepper flakes. Crushed red pepper flakes. And we're going to use some of this. And get that right in there. Now that is adding heat, so be very, very careful. If you want to control the heat, then just control the amount that you put into the bowl with that crushed red pepper. And then we're going in with a little bit of white pepper. White pepper is actually a little more spicy than black pepper as well. So that's going to add a little heat to the game also. So this is going to be like a smoky heat type thing, okay? Now, notice there isn't any salt in this spice mix, and there's a reason for that, which I'll explain later. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into my mortar and pestle, and same thing, grind away. Now, both of these already had saffron in them, okay? So I just wanted to point that out. And the only thing I'm really crushing in here, no pun intended, is the crushed red pepper flakes. Everything else is already ground pretty fine. Okay, now this shows a nice, beautiful, vibrant orange color. You want to see? Want to check it out? Look at that. Doesn't that look absolutely amazing? Beautiful color. Let's go in for the bowl. Let's see what it looks like in the bowl. That will give you a true definition of what the color really looks like, right? Let's get all of that in there. Make sure you scrape it all from the bottom. There you go. Oh, that looks amazing. Look at that. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Very, very nice, right? Okay, so I'm going to set this over here. I'm going to move my mortar and pestle out of the way. And now what I want to do is actually get these into my designated bottles. So I have it labeled already because I have some in here, but I was getting low, so I actually had to refill it. So I'm going to use my funnel. I'm going to go ahead and pour this in here. There we go. And into the bottle it goes. Now you can actually keep these. These are airtight containers. You can keep these in your pantry for up to 3 months. Let's do the same thing with this guy. Normally I would rinse this out, but it's pretty much very similar ingredients. So I'm just going to dump it in there like that. Let's scrape all of this in here. I don't like leaving ingredients behind, by the way. There we go. Now let's get that in there. You see how easy it is to use the funnel? It really helps, and then you're not spilling any of it on your countertop or your cutting board. Get this closed up, and that's it. That's it for our 2 spice mixes. We have saffron and onion, and then we also have a smoky saffron. Now stay tuned because we're actually going to do some rice. We're going to do saffron rice, and then we're going to go on and finish it off with our Spanish garlic shrimp.